Hi, my first name is Dwight. I live in Arkansas, a little town called Clinton, and ever since I was in my early 20s, I knew there was something not quite right with my system. I was run down, didn't have a lot of energy, just wasn't quite right, and it kind of lasted a long, long time. It's been with me pretty much that whole time, and you go see doctors and they tell you one thing, and somebody else tells you something else, and you never really get a straight answer on things that are kind of vague like that. So what you have to do is you have to kind of work on your own and look around. And eventually I looked at Dr. Lamb's website and looked at all the symptoms and whatnot of adrenal fatigue, and they were a pretty close match. Not a perfect match, but a pretty close match. And so I went ahead and signed up with them and started doing the call-ins every month or every 2 months to go over supplements and how I was feeling and so forth. And basically where I was at was I was pretty much tired most of the time. That was also coupled with being hyper a lot of the time. So tired and wired kind of at the same time. The tired part really matches up really well with the adrenal fatigue. The hyper part, not so much. And there's probably two things going on. Pretty certainly adrenal fatigue was going on. But anyway, so that was the main problem I was addressing. And so I got into the program, and they started off very, very slowly, which is good. So you got your supplements and learned some very helpful things along the way, i.e. like juicing, things like that. And so it went on. I'm still in the program, and it's been like 2 years now, because when you look at the effects and so forth, having this problem as long as I have, it would take a long time, several years, to get it cleared up. So we kind of knew that going in, and took it fairly slow and worked up on these supplements, and I could feel as I was taking the supplements that I was getting better, and my system was changing very gradually, but it was changing. And it took probably a little over a year for it to kind of turn a corner and to start feeling a lot better, such that I didn't have to take rest during the day and things like that. And so that's helped a lot. And so I'm still doing the every other month or so call-ins to make fine adjustments to the supplements. And it has made a big difference. I can go through the day, don't have to take naps, and I can pretty much do what I want. There's still some hyperness going on, which I think is something else, and we're doing one check on that with my local doctor who is into the natural cures and so forth, and we're got a suspicion of what that is, but that's for another time. But anyway, it's been very, very helpful, and you also learn some additional things, like I mentioned before, the juicing, which has been very helpful just from a nutritional standpoint. And then in addition to some basic nutritional guidance that helps with pretty much anything. Because if you can get your body more nutritionally balanced, it'll help with getting everything else pretty much balanced. So it's worked out really well, and the phone calls go very easily, and you can ask questions, and then they send you the information via a link that you were talking about as far as supplements, things like that. And that's real helpful, so you can keep track. So I would recommend it if you're suffering from some fairly vague things and you can tie it down to something like this, like adrenal fatigue. It would be very helpful to do it, because it's not something that doctors normally understand. And it does take time to go through and get it squared away, especially like me, who's been kicking around for a long time. So I would recommend it if you go through and read it up on it and find out that you may have these kinds of symptoms, because in our stressful world we have now, it's fairly easy to get something like this, to have the adrenal fatigue and have your adrenals, maybe not as bad as mine, but kind of get worn down, so you feel kind of lethargic and don't really have the energy you'd like to have. And you'd probably be able to respond much quicker than I did, because mine has been going on for a while. So it's been very helpful, and we're still working on finding the one other little thing that's still in there. But like I said, we have a pretty good idea what that might be, and over the next few weeks, I think we'll hopefully get a handle on that. So definitely worthwhile, and it's good to be able to call in and talk with them and get real-time information on things you should do, things you should try. They can also look at test results that you've had and, comment on that. And it's been very helpful, and I've made a lot of progress, and I would definitely recommend it to someone else who might be in this particular condition. So anyway, thank you very much, and good luck to y'all. Bye.